Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video, another one of these buy sooner than later type videos. And some of these books have appeared obviously in other videos, okay, but I've said this once before in another video, not everybody has the time or the patience to go through my entire catalog of videos of seeing, oh, well, is this an affordable key, or what was an affordable key? Remember that series I had that ended last year? So many of those books that were affordable when I made those videos are not affordable anymore. So for those of you that were watching and maybe picked up a couple of those things back then, and you have some of those books right now, like Ultimate Fallout 4 and all that stuff, hopefully you were able to pick them up when they were cheap. But like I was saying, not everyone has the time to go through that catalog. So I try to add some new things and just reminders in some of these videos. So we'll start off with this one, which I think is a reminder. This is Generation Next #2. This is the first appearance of the Sugar Man. Okay, this book you could find all day, every day in like a dollar bin, and it's high grade. So it's first appearance of the Sugar Man. As the MCU opens doorways to TV shows and alternate timelines and multiverses and movies and all cartoon series and all these different things that they're going to be flooding us with over the next 10 years, you might just see the Sugar Man. And a dollar book may go to a $50 book or a $100 book. And you'll be saying to yourself, oh, I saw that book so many times, why didn't I buy it? Or it was in a collection of Generation Next books. Well, it won't hurt to buy it if you see it. Here's another one that I think is kind of interesting that might have some potential. This is Amazing Spider-Man 406. It's the first appearance of Lady Octopus, I believe her name is. Okay. You know, female characters are definitely taking a center stage in the MCU. So I would just pick up what you can. If that's what you want to do, if you want to have it for your collection so that if it goes up in value, you don't have to be bothered with getting it when it's too expensive. So you can say to yourselves, hey, I got it before it was too late. Or if you're a seller and you want to flip some books to get bigger books, again, same thing. Get it while it's cheap. Here's another one I think is kind of a little underappreciated. This is Web of Spider-Man number 97, the first appearance of Nightwatch. Cheap, okay. It's cheap. But I don't think it's necessarily dollar bin cheap. It might be, I don't know, $10 bin cheap or something like that. So it's worth looking into. Here's another one I mentioned previously, I think is definitely worth looking into. Like I was talking to you about female characters. Here's the first appearance of Miss Sinister. You never know. Mr. Sinister, I believe, I've said this before, is going to show up in the MCU in some form very soon, I believe. Regardless of whether it's Mr. Sinister or Miss Sinister, I do believe X-Men 221 is going to go up. And especially if it's Miss Sinister, that's the one that's going to go up too. So I think it's still very cheap, worth looking into, worth getting. Here's another book that I think some people just don't pay attention to. It's Marvel Presents Bloodstone, #1, first appearance of Bloodstone. I forget his first name. You never know. You never know. It's not expensive, and it's worth getting. Here's another character, another female character worth looking into. This is the Incredible Hulk 228, the first appearance of Moonstone. Okay? I know, like some of these books you're saying to yourselves, oh my God, 10 years ago I wouldn't have given these books the time of day. No one would have. Well, times have certainly changed, haven't they? Here's another one I think is, I talked about it before previously. I think it's underrated. You know, I think this was even in one of my underrated videos. That series is pretty much over. But here it is, The Amazing Spider-Man number 471 or Volume 2 number 30. This is the first appearance of Morlun, which I think is a really cool character. He's a vampire type character, and I think he's awesome. And as for the MCU, I think he has potential. In a movie, I don't know too much about that, but you just never know. You never know, okay? But I think it's definitely something worth getting. And I believe he's got his own action figure coming out next year, Marvel Legends. I saw a picture of it. I'm like, oh, wow. I mean, as you can see, I bought some Marvel Legends figures. I don't collect them all, but I collect the ones that I think are cool or look interesting, and Morlun is definitely one I would be interested in getting. And here's the continuation with number 472, volume 2, number 31. Another book you get cheap. You know? Another book you get cheap. And the last one, this is not a very long video, obviously. Last one I think you should look into. This one's been picking up, okay? It's not necessarily cheap, but it's not expensive either. And I think you could still get a very nice high-grade copy of this for maybe under $75. Maybe $75. Here we have Dark Avengers #1. Definitely, I think, a book worth getting. Because again, that I think has more of a chance of, or some form or another chance being in the MCU than, let's say, maybe Morlun showing up in an Amazing Spider-Man movie. That's just my opinion. I could be very wrong, but regardless, I still think that it's definitely a good book to pick up. I think it really is. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that maybe you have some of these in your collection. Hopefully maybe you could find some of these to put in your collection for a decent price before some of them make their appearance down the line. I'm not saying that any of them are going definitely to make an appearance, but we live in an age, in this hobby rather, we live in a time in this hobby where it seems like anything's possible. With books selling for record numbers and characters you never thought would be even worthy to show up on a cartoon series, let alone a major movie or TV show, are showing up. So for those of you that like to build your collections, or for those of you that want to buy these things cheap and get rid of them so you can buy bigger books, now's the time to do so. Take care, everybody. Be safe.